From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, this is The Pulse.
Hello, my name is Zachary Samisis.
And I'm Tykera Carter. Thanks for joining us. Here's Alessandra Satara with In the News.
In Hoboken, New Jersey this morning, a train crash leaves at least one person dead and about 75 people seriously injured. Reports say that the train should have stopped about 10 to 20 feet before the bumper block where it crashed. Reports also say that the front car of the train is completely demolished and everyone who is trapped has been removed from the train. In El Cajon, California today, hundreds gather in protest of a recent police shooting. Reports say that Alfredo Cuero Longo was shot and killed by a police officer in El Cajon on Tuesday. Police say Longo refused multiple instructions from officers to remove his hands from his pockets. Yesterday, a 14-year-old boy opened fire in South Carolina at Townsville Elementary School. Eyewitnesses say that the boy was subdued by a local firefighter. The teen's motive has yet to be discovered. 2 students and a teacher were hurt and no one was killed. In Bridgeport, a cold case turned hot. Samuel Calvario, also known as Felix Gonzalez, 46, was arrested this morning for murder charges, kidnapping, and assault with a deadly weapon. The charges trace back to a 16-year-old murder case in Los Angeles. He's being held in lieu of a $1 million bond pending an extradition hearing. Back to you, Zach.
Sacred Heart University's campus has played host to a couple of presidential candidates already this year. Now all eyes are on the presidential debates. With more on the story, here's Eugene Ganello.
On Monday night, Sacred Heart University held debate watch parties around its campus. Some were run by students and faculty, but one, held in the Forum in Sacred Heart's Frank and Marissa Martiri Business and Communication Center, was run by the ARP. People of all ages were welcome to share in a discussion about the current state of Social Security before the main debate. Students and adults joined together for the event and enjoyed a conversation that was followed by the most watched presidential debate ever. The debate had such an impact on the campus, we thought it would be a good idea to go out and get Sacred Heart students' opinions.
What did you think of the debate?
The debate was interesting to watch. As a first-time voter, I think that it definitely showcased many different attributes of each candidate. I thought that it was a little confusing at times because it was more so combating each other, not more telling their both opinions, but I thought it went over well overall.
I thought the debate went really well. Overall, both candidates had some good points, some off points, I think, but overall, it wasn't too bad.
I thought the debate was good. Was expecting a little bit more fire. Hillary started out strong, and I think Trump came back and really set forth what he's going to do for this country, and he had clear points. And Clinton, I felt like she stuttered a couple times, and she was just trying to cover herself up from what I saw last night.
I thought it was very interesting. I think it was, it should have been a pay-per-view event. Both candidates like to interrupt each other. I feel like not a lot got done. There was a lot of claiming the other person was lying. But overall, it was kind of, I think, what a lot of Americans expected. I rated as one of the highest debates of all time, or television shows of all time. So it was interesting.
Who do you think won the debate?
I think Trump won.
I'd say Hillary Clinton won the debate.
Definitely Trump. I think Hillary let Trump be himself, and that proved to be fairly fatal for him.
The Sacred Heart community seems just about as divided as the rest of the country when it comes to this year's election. Some are for Clinton, some are for Trump, and some are still undecided. Right now, it's not easy to see who the winner will be in November. But in a month's time, barring a repeat of the deadlocked 2000 election, that will no longer be the case. I'm Eugene Ganello, reporting for The Pulse.
Thanks. Construction is nothing new to the students at Sacred Heart, with the campus rapidly expanding. Buildings are going up everywhere, especially in former parking lots. The newest dormitory, named Jorge Bergoglio Hall, is now the home to over 200 sophomore students. Jim Kemp brings us more.
Sacred Heart University has opened a brand new residence on campus. It is called Jorge Bergoglio Hall in honor of Pope Francis. This building is designed for sophomores and is the newest dormitory built on campus since Christian Witness Commons in 2004.
Why build a new building? If you haven't noticed, probably haven't, we've exploded our student population over the last few years. And especially starting in 2014 when we started to need more units, we took out spaces at the Trumbull Marriott Hotel, and that was for juniors and seniors. We needed to have some more better housing options that wouldn't require us to be at the hotel. So Bergoglio, or the new residence hall as we called it back then, was the idea. It and we knew that it was going to have to be somewhere on campus where we have the space. If you've seen the building, it looks fantastic. Plenty of space, plenty of common areas. It still retains that small kind of feel. You're sharing the room with one other person, and you're sharing the bathroom on the inside of your pod with another 2 people. The 2 specialty spaces that were created in there, the video game room and the CrossFit gym, are going to be, I think they're already going to be very popular.
Joel is looking forward to the new additions of the building. So is Beth Ann, sophomore area coordinator at Bergoglio Hall.
Jorge Bergoglio is the given name of Pope Francis, and my understanding is that this is the first building of any sort anywhere in the world to be named after him, I think, which is pretty cool. That was a fun fact that we learned at the dedication ceremony that we had on August 30th. But that was just the decision, Catholic institution, and really wanting to kind of promote, some of the things that Pope Francis promotes within, the Catholic faith and, at the institution here. In addition, with the CrossFit gym that's going to open soon, we're going to have a CrossFit club. And I think we have a student body that's really fitness focused in a lot of ways. So it gives students who maybe aren't, D1 athletes an opportunity to have another place to work out. We have 108 bedrooms, and they're all doubles. So it's 216. That also includes the 6 RSAs that live here. The university really wanted a building that had a lot of space. We didn't want to have to triple any bedrooms to, fit people. We wanted people to feel like, they could have their furniture arranged, with a bed that's low, you don't have to jump into to get to, it's not lofted. So the rooms are really big. They could have maybe fit more bedrooms, but we wanted the rooms to be large. We wanted them all to be the same size.
How do you feel about the new building?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Only thing is, go say what you're gonna say. I just wish there was a stove, to tell you the truth. Because I like to cook. But besides that, everything else is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, nice room. It's pretty spacious. It's good.
In fact, these rooms are so spacious that you can do activities such as yoga and still have room to spare.
I would feel that it'll make you feel like you're just at home, but this is better than home. It's just really nice.
Yeah, just like a hotel.
It makes you feel like you're getting your money's worth.
This is just one of the many new additions to a rapidly growing Sacred Heart community. With more plans ahead, in a few years this campus will have expanded and changed far beyond your current memories. Reporting for The Pulse in Fairfield, Connecticut, I'm Jim Kent.
I'm actually an RSA in the new building, and I have to say it's absolutely beautiful. It's almost like a hotel.
Have you tried out the new game room? You play a little bit of 2K or something with your friends?
Hey, sometimes I do try to, but I actually have a lot of homework to do, so I try to focus on that.
I hear that. Well, coming up after the break, we'll take a look at one Sacred Heart student who fought back from injury, not once, but twice. Stay tuned.
When you choose to become a part of our Pioneer family, you take pride in our philosophy.
Opportunities, knowledge,
leadership,
confidence,
trust.
It's on us.
To take care of each other on and off the field.
And if we see something, we say something. Sexual assault is a serious issue.
We cannot look past it, because it can happen to anyone, at any time.
It's on us. To not sit back, to not keep quiet.
We speak up to keep each other safe.
Because in our Pioneer family,
we protect our friends.
We intervene when they need us most.
It's on us.
It's on Shu.
It's on you.
Welcome back. Many college students like to hit the gym and stay healthy to relieve stress. For Alyssa Notario, going to the gym serves as a strong reminder for all she overcame earlier in life. Here's Tom Spirito with the story.
I live in Ludlow, Massachusetts. It's a small town with a very small number of people. I live with my mom and dad and my 24-year-old brother.
Like many college students, Alyssa Notario enjoys staying healthy and active on a day-to-day basis. But her story is different.
So I played varsity soccer at Wilbraham Munson Academy. I was starting center midfielder for 2 years. One game I just took a wrong step and I blew out my ACL. I went to physical therapy. I got all my treatments done, and when I was cleared to play again, I actually tore it again in my first game back. It was really hard to believe at first.
But 2 major knee surgeries haven't stopped her from doing what she loves, staying fit and working out.
Even though I went through such a traumatic injury, I was able to be passionate about something else, such as weightlifting. I'm now a 52 kilogram powerlifter under the 100% Raw Powerlifting Association, and I competed in my first meet this past summer, and it went really well. So I have a lot to improve on, so it's an ongoing journey, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Now fully recovered from her injury, Alyssa looks to inspire others about being healthy and fit each day.
It's something that I've grown to understand over the years, and I've used it to motivate myself in school. So it actually led me to wanting to be a physical therapist. I want to help others as much as I was helped. I want athletes like myself to get back to the sport they love to play, because I know what it's like to have something like that taken away from them.
But Alyssa credits someone else in her life for getting her back on track today and becoming stronger as ever.
So actually, I looked up to my brother for many years. He actually tore his ACL his sophomore year of high school, and I got to watch him go through the process. So he was actually the one that inspired me to be so strong. But, you know, going through this injury has really opened my eyes to how much people look up to me now. A lot of my friends come up to me asking me for advice about working out, eating right, having a healthy diet. It's something that it's a lifestyle for me today. I love helping people who are serious about this just as much as I am.
Today, Alyssa is in grad school, learning about what she loves and inspiring others as she looks to keep improving and competing. Reporting for The Pulse, I'm Tom Spirito.
Thanks. 15 years ago, America was struck by the devastating attacks that left our country in shock. On September 11th, 2001, 4 planes were hijacked and deliberately crashed. The attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City, the Pentagon in D.C., and the fallen plane outside Shanksville, Pennsylvania, would forever change the way we live today. Patrick Scanlon brings us the feature.
September 11th, 2001. A day which will always be remembered. 15 years ago, our country was involved in the worst terror attacks on U.S. soil that anyone has seen in years. Members of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda hijacked and targeted the United States in hopes to cripple our infrastructure, economy, and most importantly, our American way of life. Of the 4 hijacked planes, 2 of them crashed into the World Trade Center in a deliberate attack against America and what we stand for. Nearly 3,000 innocent civilians perished, but because of the first responders, so many more were saved. Today, that changed the way of life forever. For the people who were there, it's a stain in the memory that can never be erased. 343 firefighters, 37 Port Authority officers, and 23 police officers fell victim to the attacks. 15 years later, and the memory still hurts, but the accomplishments of what was created because of that tragic day sparked hope and pride that could not be extinguished. It's a subject that strikes at the heart of the Sacred Heart University students, and every year we gather together for candlelight vigil to honor the victims and heroes of that day. The World Trade Center is now a memorial, with 2 square fountain pools with the names of the victims outlined around them. Only built feet away is the memorial and museum of what was left from the fatal day. Retired police officer James Scanlon was one of the first responders there on that day.
Jim Scanlon, I'm retired New York City police sergeant. Well, I was home originally and then responded down to my command where I work in Upper Manhattan. As a result of what occurred, found out, lost people that I knew, people that you just knew for a good while, and it was just a shock to the whole city. All the people. What I was thinking after the second tower got hit, that we were under attack by, outside people, whoever. Said goodbye to my family, my loved ones, and went down to work, not knowing if I would ever return.
Everything.
I went to my my assigned precinct in Upper Manhattan. Got ready for work, got my uniform on, and just basically started posting officers all around Upper Manhattan. And then sooner or later, I had to do a couple assignments downtown and back again. And just for the most part, it was uptown, and not down at the World Trade Center. The first few days, it was just we were close to the pile. We weren't exactly on the pile, but where I worked, we were all assigned to the northern perimeter along Canal Street for the most part for several months. Feeling the way I felt was, after we found out that there were terrorist attacks, everybody was on edge and nervous and scared and upset, and we just wanted to do our jobs and protect everyone and find, rescue people. I was down there the following week for a day. I was down there overnight and digging like everyone else, and it was very nerve-wracking, very harrowing, because still a week into it, it was still smoldering and burning, and you never knew when you were on the pile if it was going to be a collapse or not. And several times whistles would blow, and then you would have to get off the pile and then go back up and continue, and it was very tedious. You were just using your hands to dig debris out of there. I never found anybody, so on the pile one day. The rest of the time I was assigned to the perimeter security, so. But it was upsetting. Everybody, you worked with co-workers and people from your fellow precincts, and we were even assigned with state troopers. You got to meet a lot of different people, and you had to do a lot of going down the line. We had to do checkpoints and searching people and vehicles and things of that nature. The weather started changing, it got very tough, and it lasted for several months. In my opinion, it was a little unusual. Tragedy befall upon this nation, and people just went back to normal. I went back to my normal routine. They pulled us out of there at the end of the year and beginning of January. So I went back to normal operations at that point. So it was several months afterwards, but nothing was ever normal again after that. Just sad overall, so many people were killed, it was just horrible. I mean, when you watch everything afterwards, every year you see the specials on it, and you look back and you just think, Jesus, how horrific it truly was, innocent people murdered like that. It changes you, it changes everyone.
These few words capture the conscience of a nation. Of no day shall erase you from the memory of time. This is Pat Scanlon, reporting for The Pulse.
We'll be right back.
Sacred Heart University has a strong reputation for academic excellence, community service, and most recently for expansion. Nearly 5 years ago, Sacred Heart launched its first of 4 graduate programs in the field of media studies, a Master's of Communication called simply MACOM.
You can do lower thirds with that. You can do
The MACOM program combines classroom learning with developing hands-on skills and professional opportunities, preparing students for success in the ever-changing media industry.
The program really helped me fine-tune what I wanted to do in the media field, because I got to do so many different things with real-world application, but I was able to see what I enjoyed and what made me happy.
For me, the most valuable asset from the MACOM program was everything we learned technically with the Adobe suites from Illustrator to InDesign and Final Cut Pro 10. Those programs and the training I got here launched me into my career.
MACOM features 3 concentrations: corporate communication and public relations, multimedia journalism, and multimedia production.
5, 4, 3.
Tonight, we'll be bringing you the latest.
The first thing I liked about the program was that I got to concentrate in something, but I got to learn everything across the board. I'm good at PR, I'm a writer, I understand messaging, I can also design, I can also do video. This was something that not a lot of other people can do.
This year, the MACOM program takes a giant leap into the future with the grand opening of the fabulous Materi Business and Communication Center. This state-of-the-art building is located on Sacred Heart University's Fairfield campus. It is a prime location for communication majors, with the media capitals of Stanford and New York City within close proximity. The Communications Center is the first educational facility of this magnitude in the tri-state area. It features 2 full-size television studios, 2 professional-level control rooms, screening rooms, and media labs for editing. In addition, the center has 2 new venues for live events and screenings. The Forum and Media Theater are both connected to the control rooms, giving students the ability to produce professional multi-camera live-streamed programs. With the addition of the Motion Capture Lab, students can now use animation in ways they never could before.
MACOM at Sacred Heart University really is up with the times. It has captured what it takes to be successful in the multimedia world.
The staff that they have here, the professors that are on hand, are like on-call doctors. They are the biggest asset, and they still answer some of my questions, answer my emails, and I can even bounce feedback off of them about some of the projects I'm working on, and that, for me, that's priceless.
We're only as good as our students, and you can come back and build your portfolios. Everybody can use this space.
The MACOM program not only advanced my professional life, but also completely changed my professional life.
Welcome back to The Pulse. Tebow time is back again, but not on the football field. This time, the former quarterback takes on a new sport by trying to launch a career in professional baseball. Michael O'Brien has more.
Former college and NFL quarterback Tim Tebow has just recently signed with the New York Mets. Tebow, a former professional football player and Heisman Trophy winner, signed with the Mets for a $100,000 contract agreement.
I'd have to say that that's quite preposterous to hear that someone who was such a good football player, shunned as a football player, now thinks that he could play in a professional sport like baseball.
Seems kind of a lot for a minor league player, but he's a big personality. People know who he is, so it kind of makes sense that he would get more than the average player.
Despite early skepticism from many of his fans, replacing Tim Tebow's name from a football to baseball jersey already has its benefits.
He may have a hot streak or two, but I really don't think that throughout the year you'll see some good numbers from him.
I don't think he's going to do that good. He's 29 years old now, I believe it is. He hasn't played baseball since high school. Baseball's not a sport that just comes easy. Like, you take 6 months off of baseball. I know in my own experience, at least, you take 6 months off of baseball, you come back and it's like, whoa, I feel totally out of it. So.
It is true that blue and orange number 15 jerseys are flying off the shelves. Just a few weeks after saying that he wasn't really interested in Tebow, Mets general manager Sandy Alderson had a sudden change of heart.
There's always an upside to stuff like that because it'll bring in fans, it'll bring in people who have loved them throughout college football and professional football. That'll bring some excitement back to baseball, but I don't think that there's really any point to seeing him play on the Mets.
I'd say it's an upside. New York's the media capital of the world, and he seems like he's been a media figure for years, so like it's kind of like a meshing of the two worlds. They love it when they have a big personality like that, so I think it worked good in New York.
Only time can really tell if Tebow made the right decision by pursuing baseball. His chances of making it to the major league roster may be slim due to lack of experience, but with Tebow, a surprise is always a possibility. This is Michael O'Brien reporting for The Pulse.
Sacred Heart has not only expanded on campus, but also off campus with purchasing power for the shoe card. Karen Eckel tells us how you can try it out at Trumbull's Upper Crust Bakery and Cafe.
For Sacred Heart University students, Einsteins and Outtakes on campus are not the only place to swipe your shoe card for bagels and coffee. Just a short trip away on Madison Avenue is a new spot called UCBC, the Upper Crust Bakery and Cafe. UCBC is perfect for an early morning pick-me-up or even just a sandwich for lunch.
We knew from the very beginning that Sacred Heart and the university was a big part of our community, and so we always wanted to do what we could to attract students and make sure that we have an offering that they're interested in, students and staff. It took a little while to just kind of work through how the shoe card worked and to get a better understanding of how students use it and what we needed to do from a business perspective to get it up and running. But we finally got that all up and running within the past 2 weeks.
The bakery also has a variety of coffee blends, including organic, decaf, house, and dark brews. If you're looking for a latte or cappuccino, look no further. UCBC has got it for you, along with an assortment of bagels.
We have some great SHU staff members here who are attracting their friends, as well as I think word is getting out across the student population. So both people are finding out about our different products, as well as the fact that we take the shoe card. So we're starting to see a lot more visitors.
The bakery has been very busy since it opened, and now with the shoe card being an option, it is interesting to see how many familiar faces will soon be walking through the door. If you can't leave campus, don't worry. UCBC will also deliver with at least a $20 minimum, so you won't be missing out.
I think I'll get a lot of good response from the shoe cards because people don't like paying cash or on their credit, so parents load money on the shoe cards, so I think it'll be good.
We really hope to be part of the student life. I think we have a great breakfast offering with our fresh bagels. We have something for everybody at lunch, whether it's fresh cut salads or smoothies. And of course, we have a lot of caffeine, which can help with study periods. So in the next 6 months, we're really hoping to learn from our customers, including the students, what they're looking for, what else we can be offering, what hours they're most interested in coming, and that sort of stuff, so that we can make sure our business is optimized to suit student needs.
Shoe card. Shoe card.
This is Carolyn Eckel reporting for The Pulse.
Freshman students often struggle to make friends, upset about living away from home, or concerned about time management. The upperclassmen are here to help. There is no question that the transition from high school to college is not always a smooth one. This year, Sacred Heart University implemented a Transition Mentors program to help freshmen ease their way into the college lifestyle. Laura Vero has our report.
With the incoming class of 2020 also comes Sacred Heart's newest tradition, the Transition Mentors program.
Excited to put together this program this year with orientation leaders to continue within the first 8 weeks of college for the freshmen. So they already know a familiar face, they know who to go to if they need help with anything, and hopefully it makes them want to stay at SHU.
So meeting my orientation leader back in June, it really helped coming here knowing, oh, I know this person. They'll make it a lot easier. I have a friend to go to if I ever have something in need, and it makes it just so much easier.
Though the transition is a huge one for freshmen, the transition from orientation leader to transition mentor is an adjustment as well.
The main difference between an orientation leader and a transition mentor is the amount of time you spend with them. Now we're a resource 24/7. It turns more into like a leadership position to a friendship position.
We're here to help freshmen with time management, roommate issues, homesickness, being independent for the first time, not knowing how to do their laundry, making friends.
Not only do transition mentors have to be there physically to meet with their mentees, but they have to be someone to turn to for moral support as well.
The transition from high school to college was kind of tough because you don't have your family there to watch out for you and kind of just watch over everything you do, make sure you're okay. But while I'm here, I do have my transition mentor who's always there for support. And they do the same thing. If I ever need anything from them, I can go to them.
As an orientation leader, it was a lot harder to get to know everyone in such a short amount of time. It was also more fun, and everyone was kind of together. There was a more group aspect, whereas now the transition mentor, I got to meet with people one-on-one. So now I actually get to see their personality come out.
There are currently 21 transition mentors, each with a range of 30 to 70 mentees that they check in on regularly.
We schedule individual one-on-one meetings with all of our mentees to make sure that everything's going well, and then we have 2 of those in the 8 weeks, and then in between those 2 meetings we have to have contact with them just to make sure everything's going smoothly.
Sometimes with a transition mentor, it's not always a scheduled meeting. I just saw her one time, sat down, had lunch at 63's, and it's very casual. I can just chat, do anything. She makes it a lot easier, and yeah.
The Transition Mentor program may be set in place to guide and influence incoming freshmen, but it's also a rewarding experience for all involved.
I like when they confide in me, when they have problems, they know they can come to me, which is really awesome.
The main reason why I did this program this year was because when I was an orientee, my orientation leader helped me a lot through the transition. During the summer and throughout the entire school year, she always checked up on me now and then to make sure I was on top of everything, if I needed help getting involved, and just making sure I was having a good time, And I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to give the students this year that same experience.
This is Laura Vera reporting for The Pulse.
That's a great idea for Sacred Heart to make that whole transition mentor program. I know when I was a freshman, I really needed all the help I could get.
Oh, I wish they had that in place when I was a freshman. I know I cried all the way from Virginia to Connecticut. So that's pretty much a good plan to have in place. And that's all the news for now. I'm Tykera Carter.
And I'm Zachary Samises. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Pulse.